Hello everyone. I just thought I'd give a quick chat about how we use our chakras for manifesting. And this really is manifesting perhaps ideas that we want to bring forward into fruition. And normally this is like our soul purpose or our soul plan. So making sure that you're right on the right path for purpose and prosperity. So basically we start with our crown chakra. This is, where we are connected to all. This is unity, and this is where all the ideas are right out there, are all around us. And you're kind of almost like you've got antennae, and you're picking in through all these ideas that come into your awareness. And some of them you may feel is aligned to you, and that's your idea, and that might be a new business idea or something that you want to bring forward. So you will bring that down through your crown chakra, and you will then bring it into your third eye, and this is where you will begin to visualize, because your third eye is like your clairvoyant center. It's where you see things. So you will hold this idea as your vision, and then from this vision you keep holding it there. You then bring it down into your throat chakra, and your throat chakra is your communication centers, and this is where we express ourselves. It's not only our voice, it's also where we might express ourselves through our hands, because it moves from our shoulders down through our hands, and this is where we might create something and bring something into the reality. So it's all expressed through our hands, as well as our voice, our voice centers as well. So these ideas, as I say, you've captured it through your crown, you've brought it into your vision, into your awareness, and now it's time for you to express it. And then sometimes what can happen, we don't often take it any further, because when we start expressing our goals and our desires, quite often we get this fear of judgment of others, and other people will say, oh, that's not a very good idea. Oh, what are you thinking of doing that for then? So you almost like don't take it any further, and you leave that idea behind. But if you do carry it forward, you've expressed that idea and people support you, then you will take it down to that next level of the heart. And this is really where now you start following it forward. You know that it's your passion, it's your ideas, it's your desires, and you're going to follow it through. So you start bringing it down through the heart chakra to your solar plexus, and this is where you begin to take aligned action on it. You set little mini goals to get to that big goal that you want to take. Then you pull that on down into your sacral, and this is where you begin to create. So you make it happen, and you begin to see it happen for real, and you bring it through down into your root chakra, where you are grounding this idea in, and you're bringing it from this sort of 5D up here into your reality. So this is basically how we're kind of using our intuition to lead us forward, by capturing these ideas straight from source and bringing them down through all of these chakras. But this is kind of then what can happen and what stalls us if we haven't cleared our different blocks to our free flowing. These chakras are all energy centers, and they should all be free flowing. But often what happens, we get these blocks, just like I said here in the throat chakra, where if we're in particular looking for validation outside of ourselves, then we're looking for other people to say, yes, that's a great idea, otherwise we won't take it forward. But if we turn our validation and we're looking from it from inwards, and we're following our heart's desires, and we know that that's in alignment for us, then we won't be afraid to express ourselves and just keep going and ploughing forward with those ideas. So if you get that far, that you've brought this idea into your awareness and you brought it all the way down, you grounded it in, you created it and made it happen in your reality, the next thing that can happen is we actually begin to work back through the chakras, back upwards. And this is where, if you haven't cleared the blocks, and the blocks really can be like deep wounds, they can be, if we think about our perception of the world, it's all from our eyes of our own conditioning. It's from the eyes of our own beliefs and our experiences. So if we've not had very good experiences, or we're only coming from that place, then certain blocks and things will happen that stop this flow of it all coming down. So even if you've got it all started and into fruition and you've brought it into the 3D world and it's actually happening in reality, to keep it and to sustain that idea, you then, you're in this root chakra. This is our safety. This is our grounding. And it's often at this point that old things resurface. Things, the fear of judgment of others, of what other people are thinking, all those things begin to stir back up, and we begin to get this kind of self-doubt which shows itself in our sacral, and this can then lead us to procrastinate and to stop doing things, which is our solar plexus. We stop taking that action, and then it rises up into our heart chakra, and we begin to think, maybe it's not my desire, maybe it's not for me, maybe I picked the wrong thing, it's not in alignment with me. And then, that self-doubt carries on up and into that throat chakra, where we are still, not able to express ourselves. We don't want to talk about it to anyone, where people start saying to you, oh, how's that thing going that you were doing, the idea that you came up with, and you start to not want to talk about it anymore, even though you'd started it, because you're not believing that it's for you. And then this is where we come back up to the third eye, and you actually lose that vision. The vision you had just seems to get further and further away, until you think, oh, it's not even worth bothering about. And then it goes back out through your crown, back into the universe, and that's where somebody else who basically has, removed all their blocks, all their self-doubt, all their fear of judgment and shame and guilt and all those sort of lower feelings of emotions, they've done their work, that those ideas go back out, and other people then will take that and manifest that and make that happen. And then you'll be left sort of thinking, right, now that cycle begins all over again, because you go back out and you decide, this new idea, I'm going to do this now. This must be my purpose. This is my sole purpose. I should be doing this. So that's kind of a really quick overview of how the chakras work and how we want our energies to be flowing. And the way that I work with chakras, I bring together the dragons as well, because the dragons are, they are the earth, they are the elementals, they're the earth, the fire, they are the water, they're the air, they're all those elements of nature, and they help to support us almost through the medicine wheel, really. That's how I like to work with the medicine wheel, the directions, the seasons as well, the almanac of the seasons, the cycles. And what we're trying to do is get this smooth cycle of the energy flowing up and down throughout us. And the way that the dragons can help us, they've come forward to me, they've given me these beautiful activations and meditations to help clear away any of those fears, any of those self-doubts. They have come together to create the vision and to help you know if you're on that right path or not. They are, during these meditations, they're helping you to remove all of these blocks, and they're helping you to bring in what is, the most desiring thing for you and your passions, so that you're kind of coming from your heart. Because we need to know what are our desires, what are our passions, and that's how then we can work with Source to pick the actual idea that is right for you.